guys, and welcome to Matt Bayeski YouTube channel. Welcome to your YouTube channel. Welcome to a self-help 15 minutes or even 5 to 15 minutes of interesting topics these days. I try and tackle subjects which are sometimes taboo and sometimes deemed of I kind of think crazy, and some things are a little bit crazy, but then again, isn't everything, isn't everybody, isn't the whole world a little bit of a crazy madhouse? I like that. I think it's better than all being robots, right? Today's a great subject because I've been asked to tackle this subject many times. Now you've got to remember, Mark Bayeski's only done certain things along his journey of 14 years of the spiritual world. There's people out there who've been doing it for 50 years, so I'm very new to the world of spirituality. I'm slightly different than a lot of people because I wasn't brought up with spirituality, and I'm also somebody who doesn't really believe in everything unless I see it. I'm kind of the biggest critic, especially to myself. So if something doesn't work, it doesn't work for me. It doesn't mean it doesn't work for somebody else. And this nicely leads on to this subject today. And we're going to talk about this. Ooh, look in my eyes. Look in my eyes. You do love me. You will watch me every day. Okay, so this is a pendulum. Okay. Interesting. Pendulums. A lot of people tell me they have great success with it. And I believe them, completely believe them, because they love working with them, and the energy that they work with is their energy, not the pendulum. Just like tarot cards, they're just pieces of paper. But if they stimulate you to a higher energy and you can attune to that energy, then a stick or a crystal ball or a crystal will help you attune to the right energy. So I think that's it really. Finished. No, okay, so where do I begin? Well, my personal experience with a pendulum was one where 13 years ago, I'd moved into a property with ghosts. I now know them to be spirit trapped in between two worlds. It wasn't such a great energy, I've got to admit, and my two little doggies, Daisy and Dennis, they really struggled in that house. It was a very big house. It was once, I believe, an old finca house which was knocked down and then rebuilt again to a big 6-bedroom house with a swimming pool. And although it was beautiful, looked great, it wasn't good. Sleeping in there was not good. I experienced, I think we talked about this the other day, sleep paralysis a lot, and jumping up in the middle of the night being freaked out. And I had only just started in this field of work. And I remember I started going to this circle evening, just got to know it a little bit. And I remember going and speaking to these beautiful people 2 or 3 weeks after I'd been at least 3 times to the circle, which was a healing circle. And I'd mentioned it to one lady, saying that, you know, we've moved into this big house and it's really strange. The dogs are barking at the walls and they're uncomfortable. And they were asking, what were they doing, the dogs? And well, they jump up on the sofa and just look at the wall and bark at it. And I thought, what is that? And they smiled and they knew exactly what it was. And 2 of the ladies offered to come round to try and help. So they came and they walked around the house and they were using one of these. And I was very curious and I said, what's that? And they said, it's a pendulum. And I said, what does it do? They said, it helps us ask questions to the spirit world and we get the answers from it. So if it moves this way, if they agree that moving this way is no, then they will always know if it moves that way, it's a no. If it moves this way, it's a yes. Or if it does this, it could be a yes, a no, or whatever you choose to relate yes or no to. That's the basics of this. I don't fully know how it works, so you could probably tell me a lot more. So I watched them go around the house. When they'd finished, one of the ladies said, okay, now the spirit has gone. And I said, really? And she went, yes, it's gone. So they left, and we had a cup of tea, big kisses, goodbye. We were really relieved. That night, it was exactly the same again. The dog's back. So my experiences with these beautiful ladies is that they used the pendulum, but the communication, what they received, wasn't correct. The second time was even more bizarre. I'd met up with a lovely lady. She was about to launch a book, and I was going to be in it. And she asked me to meet a certain gentleman who claimed to be a wizard, a high master wizard. And for some reason, I didn't really want to go. It didn't feel right. But she convinced me, so okay, I'll go. So I sat with this gentleman, and I'm not going to go into detail, but suffice to say, it wasn't a very good energy that I was sat in front of. And I just wanted to just verify something and make sure what I was feeling was what it was. And he took out one of these. And he said some things and basically told me that I couldn't fix what I needed to fix. I wasn't strong enough, I wasn't powerful enough, and only he could do it. That's always an alarm bell for me. And okay, I listened to all of that, and then I said, "Can I ask a question while you've got your pendulum out?" He said, "Yeah, sure." I said, "I've misplaced a Moldavite again." I said, "Will I ever find it?" And he did this stuff. He said, "No, it's gone for good." I went, "What a shame." Okay, so I left, and the following day I found the Moldavite. It turned up. They're my two experiences. There's one more experience, but there's no point talking about it. But for me, all I can tell you is I've tried the other day, and a friend of mine says, "Well, why have you got them?" And I says, "Well, because some people like them, and just because it doesn't work for me, it might work for somebody else." So some people can get some amazing hits from these. I'm sure you can. And like I said, for me, it isn't the pendulum. It's your energy. It's your belief. It's your attunement. So if you're not attuned, you're working from the mind, then often we see this. They'll ask a question, and then you'll see this with a hand. You'll see the hand move. And that's when I know in my own sense that that's your guidance. Doesn't mean it's wrong or right. Doesn't mean you're doing it I'm doing this to make it move. Maybe your hand is connected to the flow, and then you move that way, like I would turn cards over and see things through the cards. So I suppose to finish on this note, it does not matter what talisman you use. Doesn't matter if you use cards. It doesn't matter if you use your wands or crystals or whatever it is you decide to use. I believe real attunement is you. And if you really want to attune to something, then whatever you use and you feel happy and comfortable with, then that at least takes you to a level where you feel more at peace and comfortable with what you're doing. And I think attunement to any kind of spiritual work, the most important thing, as I teach every day, is that there's no point coming to me if your mind, body and spirit whacked, if you're exhausted, if you're upset, if you're poorly, if you're ill, emotionally torn apart. That's no good. That's not a time to be doing this work, It's a bit like when you're not feeling good, what do? Well, you normally do like the doggy does. He sits in a corner and waits till he's better again. So he drinks lots of water and becomes better, and then he's happy and he's off again and playing. I kind of see myself like that. So when I do my work, I have to be strong, mind, body and spirit. And the reason why is because then there's nothing to affect me, nothing to block me, nothing to make me think, oh, I'm in pain, or oh my God, what happened? And so when you are completely 100% clear, healthy and happy, then you are actually one step closer to the spirit world's energy. So then you can attune a little bit more and feel a little bit more. So that's my personal belief. I believe wholeheartedly it doesn't matter what you use, whether it's this or whether it's crystals, or whether it's cards, or whether it's a crystal ball, whatever it is you choose to use to attune to what I call the spiritual energy around us, the universal, beautiful energy that can help us along a journey. That sometimes we can see our future, a glimpse of it, sometimes we can. And I've seen it many times, so I know it's real. So I think what I'm trying to say to you all today, guys, is we cannot dispel, just because I said, oh, I haven't seen this work, doesn't mean it doesn't work. It just means that the people who had it at the time were probably not feeling in a good place. They may have been filled with ego, they may be a little bit lost, they may be issues, they may be felt upset or whatever. So I think when all said and done, if you are of fit mind, body and spirit, doesn't matter what you use, you will attune to that higher energy. So I hope that dispels some of the notions that some of you think that I don't believe in certain things. I believe in everything if it works for you. It's as simple as that. So whether it's this or whether it's cards, it doesn't make any difference in my world. What makes a difference is if you attune to your higher self and you are as kind and caring and you work towards only love and not ego and not trying to be this amazing God that I know more than you. When you clear that away and you just do your best and try your best, and sometimes you can hit upon something amazing when you work in this field of work. You really can. And then it really makes you realize, wow, this field of work is real. It does exist, and we can capture glimpses of our future, our present and our past. So that's it really. I think that's as much as I can say. So I hope you don't think that I'm saying that this doesn't work. I hope you understand what I'm trying to tell you. It's not this, it's this. When this is aligned, anything else will be aligned. Have a great Sunday, guys. Love you all. Thank you for subscribing to Matt Bayeski YouTube channel. It's a beautiful day. I'm heading off to El Churro now to the lakes to have a very, very beautiful afternoon rest. I hope you're okay, guys. Love you all. Take care from my heart to yours.